Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about two myths slash claims everyone wonders if they're true or not, which are money can buy happiness and experts are born, not made. When it comes to the first claim, money can buy happiness, the reason that many people state this is because people often suggest that true joy and fulfillment come from having emotional, social, and spiritual sources rather than material wealth. The idea persists because many people observe that even the rich often struggle with stress and loneliness, while many other people with modest means can lead meaningful and content lives. The reason why this claim still continues is partially because it challenges society's ideas with consumerism, reminding us that happiness depends more on relationships, purpose, and self acceptance. Several psychological terms that relate to this claim are hedonic adaptation. The term states that the tendency for people to quickly return to a baseline level of happiness after positive or negative life changes, such as gaining wealth. Materialism. The term states that the beliefs of possessions and wealth bring happiness, but research shows high materialism often correlates to a lower well-being. And Maslow's hierarchy of need, a theory suggesting that once the financial needs are met, higher levels of happiness depend on fulfilling psychological and self-actions rather than more money. Evidence to suggest that the claim is true about money cannot buy happiness is an article from Money Talks News called Six Millionaires Who Say Money Doesn't Buy Happiness, written by Chris Kissel. Sees that Richard Branson, with a net worth of $2.8 billion, has stated, I truly believe that stuff really does not bring happiness, as he recalls the time him and his wife, Joanne, lived on a houseboat, in which it sank, taking all the possessions with it. The couple reflects and states they miss nothing except our treasured photo albums. In this instance, we can understand that Richard Branson and his wife, Joanne, were not devastated on the loss of the houseboat, but mainly on treasured photo albums, as Branson states family, friends, good health, and the satisfaction that comes from making a positive difference are what really matter. Another wealthier person in this article was Mark Cuban, his net worth to be estimated at $5.7 billion. Cuban states that money buys you comfort, money buys you sanity in some respects. Money takes away a lot of the stress of paying the bills, but it doesn't make you happy. As Cuban says that having money does make life a bit better than it was before, as he notes that he can use his riches to get things done faster, which does buy him time. But having money does not magically change who you are. As he states, I was happy when I was broke, but if you were miserable when you were broke, money is not going to change that. This showcases that even though money can't buy you a lot of stuff, in the true aspect, it cannot buy you happiness, as happiness is more of an emotional thing. More evidence on such a claim that money cannot buy happiness comes from an article from PubMed called High Income Improves Evaluation of Life but Not Emotional Well-Being by Daniel and Angus Deaton. States that income may strongly reduce hardships, improve life satisfaction. However, the relationships is non-linear, as additional income yields diminishing returns, especially for day-to-day emotional well-being, which was found by Daniel and Deaton, who found that higher income raised life evaluation but not average daily emotional well-being beyond a certain point. However, how credible this claim is, money can't buy happiness, the short answer to this is it's partially true but incomplete. As research consistently shows that money does increase happiness up to a point, as income is strongly linked to life satisfaction and well being when it comes to meeting the basic needs, reducing stress, and providing stability. However, beyond a moderate income level and additional wealth only produces small or temporary gains of happiness because of hedonic adaptation and social comparison. Therefore, money cannot guarantee lasting happiness. So the final verdict on this claim is money can't buy happiness is plausible. Now that we discussed the first claim, let's go to the second myth. Experts are born, not made. The myth experts are born, not made suggests that exceptional ability such as talent in music, sports, or academics is something people are born with, rather than something developed through practice and experience. This myth persists because many geniuses appear to have more remarkable skills at a young age, which leads to many to believe their success must come from natural talent. But society also tends to romanticize genius and overlooks the years of effort that produces such a genius, as the media emphasizes innate gifts rather than hard work. Some psychological terms related to this myth are expertise, the higher level of skill or knowledge that allows consistent superior performance in a specific domain; deliberate practice, focused goal oriented training designed to improve performance through feedback and repetition; innate ability, natural and inborn capacity that gives some individuals an advantage of developing skills; and plasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt in response to learning and experience. Some evidence to such a myth can be seen in an article from PubMed called Deliberate Practice and Acquisition of Expert Performance, a General Overview by K. Anders. Anders argues that high quality practice is the primary driver of expert performances, as differences in hour/quality of practice explain the difference in skill. Deliberate practice produces domain specific mental representation. As we can see, one of Anders' most influential studies has found that elite violinists at a music academy have accumulated over 10,000 hours of practice before reaching the age of 20, far more than less accomplished players. Showcasing the concise, purposeful practice is the main factor distinguishing experts from non-experts, showcasing that it was not inborn talent. A final piece of evidence comes from an article from PNAS called Navigation-Related Structural Change in the Hippocampi of Taxi Drivers, written by Eleanor A., David G., and Ingrid S., showcases that brain imaging studies demonstrate the power of experience. For example, Eleanor A. found that London taxi drivers who undergo years of training memorize city routes had larger hippocampi than non-drivers. The structural difference developed through learning and experience, not birth, which is direct evidence that the brain physically changes through practice. Therefore, the final verdict for the myth is busted, as experts are not born but made.